Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Value Vegan Podcast. Today, we have our amazing guest here with us. Welcome.
I'm Jasmine from Sweet Simple Vegan. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So you're an awesome vegan influencer and you've really had an amazing experience with the vegan journey. So we're really excited to have you here with us. So to start off with, why don't you just tell us a little bit more about your journey and how you ended up going to this plant-based lifestyle?
Okay, so it's a little bit of a story, but it started when I was around 18 years old. So I had moved away for college. It was the first time I had been away from home. And it was kind of a rough time for me. I had a really hard time socializing, balancing school with that. And I don't know, just taking care of myself and being on my own. And eventually, some way or another, I fell into an eating disorder. And that was like one of the hardest years of my life. And within that, I was looking into dieting constantly, and I was trying to figure out a way to lose weight. And that's actually how I found the vegan diet. Initially, for me, it was just a weight loss thing. And so I stumbled upon some YouTubers, and I decided to try veganism just for the heck of it, just to lose weight. And initially, I failed. I tried to do it overnight multiple times, and it really was hard for me. I tried to go raw vegan overnight, and that was extremely difficult. But some way or another along that journey I had there, I discovered veganism, and I like in the light of the ethical reasons and the environmental reasons, and then eventually the health reasons of going vegan. And I realized that it wasn't just a diet. And so I just started educating myself more. I was really interested in it because I didn't even know what vegan meant. I knew what vegetarian meant. I thought it was the same thing. So I started learning more about it, and I just started to realize that it was something that I wanted to pursue, and I felt like it was something that was calling my name. I was constantly thinking about myself, thinking about my appearance, thinking about making friends and that sort of thing. And I realized that instead of always thinking about myself and focusing my time and energy on me, I could be doing something much more positive and impactful with my time and my energy and my focus. And I shifted that, and I started focusing on the animals, the environment, and not only my health, but the health of those around me, my friends and family, and anybody that I could share the information with. So I became really passionate about veganism, and it really helped me heal my eating disorder. It's because I just had a new perspective on life and a new perspective on health. And so that's how I went vegan. It took a while. I couldn't do it overnight. I had to do it slowly because I was like I was saying, I kept trying to do it right, like all the way, and I kept failing. And so I realized that slowly but surely was the way that I was going to be able to do it sustainably. And here I am today, 7 years later.
Wow. That's awesome. And that's so funny that you tried to go raw vegan overnight, because I know that that's a super kind of extreme change.
I was living in a dorm room too with two other people, and it was not a good time.
Right. So is it kind of your recommendation then to go more at your own pace and to kind of adjust more rather than trying to go all in at once?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know the end goal is to be 100% vegan, and it's the most beneficial for your health, the environment, and the animals. But if you need to take the time to eliminate things slowly and add more plant-based foods in slowly and introduce yourself to the foods that way, by all means, like that, I think that's the way to do it most efficiently for most people. I know people who have done it overnight, and props to them, but like I don't have the strength to do that. And so I would recommend just doing it slowly if it's necessary. There's nothing wrong with
I love it. You're right. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think sometimes, like, in kind of the vegan community, there's almost this like pressure to be like the perfect vegan overnight.
that. Totally.
That's
Yeah.
kind of like alienates people from really wanting to like call themselves vegan, because they're like, well, I'm not perfect. Like the other day there was like a bit of cheese on this thing I had.
Yeah, and I feel like it may have the opposite effect. It may deter people from wanting to go vegan because they feel like they can't achieve that sense of perfection. So that's why I try to tell people, just do the best you can. And like a lot of my family members they're not vegan, but they've made strides to eat more plant-based, and it's amazing for their health and the environment. And they're doing good things. They're doing the best they can.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So you mentioned like kind of going from this focus of going vegan for your health and then really learning more about how it can benefit people other than yourself as well and
Hmm.
realizing the impact it can make. So tell us a bit more about how you started to shift into really knowing more about the impact that it has on the planet and on animals and how more people, because a lot of people go vegan for the health benefits at first, or
Hmm.
it's kind of almost seen as like a diet by some people to lose weight and things like that. So how can people like that kind of start transitioning into more seeing the bigger picture of the impact?
The two big things that helped me were the Earthlings documentary on YouTube and then Cowspiracy, just because it was laid out so easily and like it's a visual thing. So I was able to learn so much from those things, and then I guess explore more of the information that they had shared there. So I think that those could really help people, and they're two documentaries that people always recommend in terms of like how to go vegan or what can motivate people to go vegan. So those are the two things that helped me. And then on the Cowspiracy website, they actually have so much information on the environmental impact of animal agriculture and why plant-based diet is better for the environment. So if people are looking for more information, they have a lot there.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay, so you stayed vegan for 7 years. So tell us more about like what kind of inspires you to keep going and your like your why really for staying vegan, and also like what has helped you to continue for so long.
Um, I don't know, just like I've been mentioning, I'm just so passionate about making a positive impact and sharing this positive message with the world and doing the best I can to help improve the environment and save the animals and also for health. I first like for sorry, I'm like stuttering all over the place.
No worries.
One thing is I shared veganism with my family, and my mom, for example, she went vegan and she used to have high blood pressure, and now she no longer has that. She was able to just like be healthier altogether. She'd gone to the doctor. She showed me her blood test results, and she was like so pumped about it. It was so awesome. Um, and I just see like positive impacts like that with people like directly close to me, but also through social media, through our website. It's really cool to be able to share the message and hear everyone's stories and how my boyfriend and I have made an impact on other people in their vegan journey. And that's really motivating to me. I really love being able to share that. And
Mhm.
when I first went vegan, I didn't have this sort of like mentor or I didn't have like an example to live by. I kind of felt like I was all over the place. It was 7 years ago, and I feel like vegan wasn't as widespread. There wasn't as much information online on social media and that sort of thing. So doing what I do today, that's a motivating factor. I want to be that resource to people, and I want to like help them, guide them, and let them know like it's going to be hard, and I don't want to lie that it's not going to be easy, but you can do it, and I'm here to help.
I love that. That is so powerful that your mom went vegan. Like, tell us a bit more about that. Like, was she super supportive from the beginning, or was this kind of something that she like warmed up to over time? Because I know a lot of people that message me, like they're maybe 16, 17, and they still live at home. And one of their big
Yeah.
challenges is like, how do I bring this to my family in a way
Mhm.
where it's not like I'm just rejecting what they're giving me and I'm not, because so much of like familial relationships is like sharing food together and things like that. So
Totally.
tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about all of that.
So yeah, it was quite a bit of things. So first off, because I was struggling with an eating disorder, my parents just thought it was diet, and they didn't really look at it in a positive way at first because of like its relationship to me.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually that changed when they saw like that I was gaining back my health and that I was happier and that sort of thing. And then another thing is when my mom started realizing that she could eat vegan versions of the foods that I grew up eating. Like, for example, I'm from a Filipino and Ecuadorian background, and both have a lot of like animal products in the cultural cuisine, especially Filipino. There's some interesting things. So my mom and I were able to like get into the kitchen and work together and make vegan food, make vegan Filipino food. And I feel like we really bonded over that. And it kind of really opened her eyes up to what vegan was, because she had the perception that it was just like vegetables and nothing really exciting, and that I would have to like walk away from my culture in a sense.
Right.
But once she learned that we could eat the traditional foods that I grew up eating, that she grew up eating, kind of shifted her perspective a lot. And she realized that it was easier. And I don't know, I feel like from there, she slowly became more interested in it. And in terms of introducing them to it, I showed them the Forks Over Knives documentary initially. And
Mm.
I feel like they were able to learn more from that. They really understood from like a science perspective that it was beneficial, and
Mm.
they didn't think I was crazy after that documentary. They started to trust my opinion. And I think 5 years into me, yeah, 5 years of me being vegan, she went vegan. It took a
Mm.
while, but
Wow.
her and my dad are both vegan now too. Yeah.
Oh my God. So cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I've been vegan for a year and a half. So I'm like, all right, parents, like sign up. When I go home, I
yeah.
make them like green smoothies and they really feel amazing after. I'm like, yeah, this is
hmm
like what whole foods do for you. But
Yeah,
I come from an
totally.
Iranian background too. And like in the Middle East, there's like so much meat and
Yeah,
it's like so ingrained in the culture. So
totally. Yeah.
definitely like an interesting point. So were you able to create kind of more Filipino like recipes in a new
Yeah.
way, or how did you do that?
Yeah. So my mom and I were able to veganize a bunch of entrees, and we even had some desserts that we veganized. And
Mm.
I actually have an ebook where I collaborated with my mom, and then my boyfriend collaborated with his mom, and we veganized things we grew up eating. So he comes from an Italian background, so they made vegan Italian food, and then my mom and I made vegan Filipino food. So I don't know. It's some of it's a challenge, but once we figure it out, it's like so rewarding, and it's so cool to show it to my family and have their minds be blown. Show them that veganism is or vegan food is delicious.
Yeah. All right, that's enough for me to be challenged to create my own versions of Persian food. Very cool. Awesome. So changing it a little bit, we were kind of chatting about this before, but like tell us a bit more about how like going vegan and adopting this plant-based lifestyle also helped in terms of like your mental health and self-love and things like that, and how that journey has been.
So I just started learning more and caring more about how I was treating myself and my body.
Mm.
Before it was all about outward appearance, and I didn't really care how I got there, what it took to get there, the negative impact on my body. And I also didn't realize how much of a mental impact I was making with like the extreme dieting I was doing and the negative talk I was having towards myself and the lack of self-love. So when I went vegan, the first thing is I just started learning more about my health and being more interested in it. It was actually to the point where I got a degree in nutrition because I was like so passionate about it. And I didn't learn much about that in school before college. And I feel like a lot of people don't.
Mm.
So it was something that I really wanted to share with people, how important nutrition really is. And I don't know, I think that veganism and my passion for it and all of that, it just introduced me to this new life. Like if I didn't go vegan, I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing today. I was introduced to blogging, photography, content creation, all of that, and I'm just more passionate about something than I've ever been in my life. And I've grown a sense of self-confidence in that, and with that I've grown more self-love. And I don't know, I just feel like all in all, it's helped with my relationship with myself, and it's
Mm.
been such a positive thing in my life. And I really think that it could help others in that way, people who are struggling with what I was struggling with. I think that it really is like a golden ticket.
I love that. So in a way, it helped you to learn all these new skills and talents that you have and put them to use, and also to contribute to something like greater than yourself as well, and gain
Yeah.
kind of that sense of purpose with it.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Well, I think that's such a perfect, inspiring note to end on. So if people want to connect with you, where can they find you?
They can find me at Sweet Simple Vegan on Instagram and YouTube, and then sweetsimplevegan.com. I have vegan recipes, vegan resources, anything they need, I got them.
Okay, perfect. So thank you again so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, and we will see you all next time.